Good morning, Instagram. I am so happy to be here today. I am just putting in the title of our live today. Welcome to Bridal Business TV. I am your host, Dawn Rose, and if those of you have never met me before, my little intro is I am by day a hairstylist and makeup artist, bridal specialist, and by night I try and help other hair and makeup artists start and grow their business in hair and makeup, but using this wonderful world that is wedding industry. So I can help you guys attract brides who book you in advance, pay you on time, and never haggle your prices. But today, guys, we are in for a massive treat because we have got none other than the amazing Ray Torregano on with us today. Good morning, Martina. How are you this morning? Ray is coming on live with me in just a few short minutes. I'm just going to post my comment. I'm just seeing if I can then hold this down. And if it lets me pin my comment, then again, maybe it won't. Morning, Michelle. How are you this morning? Morning. Hey, guys. Good morning. So letting everyone join. I'm so excited about today. So excited. Ray and I go way back. So we're going to have a chat about, yeah, me too, Michelle. I'm really excited. Ray is just amazing. If you guys don't follow Ray already, then I'm sure that's not true because everyone follows Ray because he's just an absolute inspiration. But guys, before we get started, let me just remind you that I've got my 5-day boot camp coming up next week, Monday through Friday of next week, plus an extra masterclass on Saturday morning for me. So here he is. Ray is joining us now. So I'm super excited. So don't forget, I've got boot camp next week, guys. You can sign up at bridalbusinessschool.com/bootcamp2. Bootcamp 2 is my second one this year. Good morning, Juliet. Good morning. All right, I'm super excited to have everyone on this morning. This is going to be a fantastic live interview. I'm going to be talking all things to do with guest experience with Ray. Ray is a machine on social media as well, so I really want to pick his brains about social media and how we can get more involved with our brides in social media. But let me see if we can, if he's ready to go. Ray, are you ready? Are you able to? I'm going to see if I can either add you in. Go live with, here we go. Let's add Ray in. All right, let's see how we go. Hopefully this works. It says it's connecting. Hey!
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Awesome.
This fantastic iPhone 7 where they have those stupid attachments, and so
yes.
You know, I would have plugged in the microphone so it's a good sound, but that means it says I'm on headphones. So
yeah, it's tough.
You know what? I sold my soul to Apple a really long time ago, and I just can't go back. So
can't go back. So glad to talk with you and to be on, Dawn. Just before you even get started, shout out to you. You've been rocking for a while, and I know you are miles and miles away, but I feel like we're family.
I know. We go back, hey? We go back to our Periscope days.
Periscope days, for sure.
Hey, and you remember we had Periscope? We used to have to go on and we'd have to turn the camera around while we were live. Like the camera would have to be facing like the window, and then we'd have to press the button for it to flick around. I was just thinking about that today. I was thinking, man, we've come a long way.
Come a long way.
Awesome. Well, Ray, I want to give you a big shout out. Thank you so much for spending time with me this evening. I want to first of all ask you, can you just share with everyone like your journey? Because I mean, you're a hairstylist, right? That's where it began. You went to cosmetology school, and now you've built up this amazing empire. So please, will you share your story with us and how you got started?
Awesome. Well, good morning to some, good night to others.
Yeah.
This is just amazing technology. I tell you, I'm still a little nerd, but guys, I am a weird art kid like many of you guys. When I grew up, you know, changing my room around, dyeing my hair, funky clothes, and eventually I got into high school and I was into, like many people, creative arts. I drew and painted and things of that nature. And I got introduced to, you know, cutting hair in high school. Eventually, I moved to a different part of the state. It was a little bit more smaller in the town, and I couldn't find a barber. That turned into me finding a barber, starting to cut hair around the way, getting frustrated. I couldn't find anybody to do my hair like I liked it. Fast forward, guys, I started to work in a barber shop. Eventually, the owner said, you got to go to school. So I went to school with no intention, guys, of doing women's hair. But that's all they had available, Dawn. And so eventually I went at nighttime so I could keep my job. I was like 19 years old, going to cosmetology school, really weirded out because I thought it was for girls. And so my intention was really to get my license for Cosmo, but go back to the barber shop. But something happened when I was in school. I realized that my art background came into play, and I understood color and line and design and the theatrics of it all. I did a lot of theater when I was younger, and I kind of struggled with the idea, like, am I supposed to do hair? Am I supposed to do women's hair? And I realized that I was good, and I understood it. I tried to fight it a little bit, but eventually things happened, and I wound up in a salon full time. And what was different is I didn't see me. I didn't see kind of a guy's version of it. I still was like cut off pants and playing basketball on the weekend, but I was a hairstylist. And I just started leveraging that for years. So for about 7 years, Dawn, I worked in other salons, hopping around, didn't fit. I was the outcast, youngster.
I mean, being a male in the hairdressing industry, I mean, there was very few of them. Very few of them. I mean, even now, growing up in the UK, it's the same. I mean, I could probably count on one hand the amount of male hairdressers I knew. It was tough.
It was tough. And luckily, I came from, kind of a confident kid. So what still to this day, could be viewed as kind of a negative. I realized that it made me stand out. It made me a lot different. And people couldn't really sense where the art was coming from, but it was from my youth. Plus, I played sports, so I was very competitive. I wanted to figure out how to do it. And but I never really fit. I never really fit in the salons because, again, I was the guy. I was young. I was around girls, and people thought that was going to be a problem because I was young. They thought I was going to be flirtatious, whatever. Eventually, I realized, okay, I got to get my own spot. So I saved up my money. At about 28, I started working for companies, teaching and doing education. This is pre-social media, so this is like 03, 04. And I saved up all my little coins, and I opened up my salon in 2006. And I wanted it done to be like the anti-salon, like funky colors, music. I didn't want flowers, I wanted it to be really edgy. And it was called Rhythm. And we really kicked butt for about 9 years total. Right at about 9.5 years. Right at about, I opened up 06. So 09, somebody showed me YouTube. And so I didn't know what it was. Like, what is this? What is that? Yo, man, you can put video on your camera and upload it to the computer and people could see it. I was like, mind blowing. Like, anybody could see it. And my initial move was just to get the city to see me. But then I realized quickly that I was getting around the state, around the South, around the country. And there was one instance, Dawn, and I'll stop it here. In 2010, about a year later, somebody said, greetings from Columbia. Now, I'm in Columbus, Georgia, in the States. Somebody said, greetings from Columbia. And I was like, Columbia, Maryland, or Columbia, South Carolina? No, Colombia, the country. Oh. And that changed everything. Yeah. That changed everything. That changed my focus. I realized I was on a platform in a very early stages that could reach everyone. I started to connect and realize that it was not more than just hair people that were following me for clients. It was other stylists. It was folks like yourself that were building businesses that wanted to ask questions. And just started uploading video. We weren't using words like brand or content creator or blogger. I was just sharing. And then I got married in 2012 and I got offline, but I was watching. I was watching what was going on, and I was building my salon, and I was like, it's more than just art, but I'll keep watching. Years went by, and about 2015, I just couldn't stand it anymore. Some things were changing in my business, and I jumped back on. But this time I wanted to talk not just about creative art, but business, but marketing, how you can balance it with your life, how you could still have children. And that gave us our tagline, better hairdressers, better salons, better lives. And that's where I met you.
Yeah.
Jumped on brand new platform, Periscope. All of us that were trying to reach people jumped on.
Yeah.
And I started aggressively sharing 2015. And eventually in 2016, I looked at my wife and I said, I think I can do this full time. I think I've done what I'm supposed to do in the salon. But I had done every aspect of business, education, bridal, makeup. I had done it all. And I knew I was more suited to be in the field to help folks. So 3 years later, we're about 2 years into our business. We like to say that we're an agency for online education and business strategy for creative entrepreneurs. So I jumped at the chance to talk to the bridal army because I love the bridal game, and it's a hot game right now, guys. And we can really leverage social media to get to it.
Yeah, and that's definitely what I want to chat with you about, social media, and also about kind of providing that guest experience. So I know that sometimes with a lot of the bridal stylists, especially the new ones coming up, they really battle with their prices. Now, I have this big thing where I say that I will not ever dictate to them what they should and shouldn't charge in their bridal business. It has to suit their clients' needs, the surroundings around them, etc. But they have to understand that if they're going to be traveling to them, that bridal is a luxury experience, and they need to have that in their minds when they're thinking about pricing their work. And it's all about, it's not, yes, we have to give them the best experience on wedding day because that's where our referrals and stuff are going to come, but it's not just about wedding day. It's about the whole experience leading up to the wedding day, including looking at our social media and our website and all that stuff. So what I wanted to ask you, Ray, was, when it comes to guest experience, what do you think that what my stylists can provide to their brides that will kind of give them that edge? What is it they can do to kind of be the best and stand out?
Well, I tell you, I did, and I don't want it to take this long for folks that are following you, that are following you. You do such a great job. But I got married in 2012. And I had done maybe 100 brides in my career over 15 years. But it was when I got married that it heightened my understanding of the bridal experience. And it also showed me what stuff costs. It also showed me that this is a serious business. And the pricing that we're doing in our salons, the pricing that we're asked to do online and in social media, many times is undercutting ourselves, is underbidding, because there isn't anyone telling us what to do. So insecurities and doubt kind of mix in to judge what we should be charging on a weekly basis just in the salon to our friends, family, and neighbors. Now you bring someone to arguably one of the things that people spend. My wedding was the most I've spent on one event, hands down. Over a car. Probably the only other thing that'll be there is a home, right? And you're trying to like now take a mind that's already undercutting to the fact to understand that, guys, it's supposed to be double, just minimum, just to get started because of what you're doing. And I tell you, man, what I can say to folks is, the reason why I mentioned my wedding is it was then that I understood what this was. This is her day. This is her day to marry her groom. This is the only day that some women in their lives get the kind of green light to be self-centered. It's all about them. Money's not a limit. Everyone's looking at them. And in a wedding that right now, on average, I don't know how much it is in Australia or in the UK, but on average in America, we're thinking about $30,000 to $35,000 for a wedding, right?
Yeah,
for one day. 4 hours, 30 grand. And can we say, guys, that the top, I'm talking about when a wedding's over with, all you really got is those photos. Yeah. All you really got is those pictures. The dress don't fit, the tux don't fit, the food is gone, everything's gone, and all you have is those memories. So I would say hair, makeup, her look is right up there at the top of importance of an average $30,000 to $50,000 budget. So now's not the time to undercut. Now, it's her day, so there can be things like the consultation, Like, really draw this out.
Yeah.
One of the things I suggest to your people that are doing hair and makeup is to really get in early with the bride. Like, if you hear her a year out, way before the engagement party, start talking to her early. And even if you don't bill her as your bridal assistant, most brides, because they're doing this for their first time, they don't know what they're doing. So if you come with information about timelines, gauging how it's going to be, options, digital virtual reality variations, I've even brought a pre-done model that looked like the bride to give her a visual of what it is, right? Understanding of what the dress would look like, thinking of what her bridal party. You've got to let her know, I've done this before. I'm here to make it easier for you. That's just a consultation.
Absolutely.
And then there, you want to, and now we have digital, we have email, we have online. You want to help her, maybe help her sign up on the Knot. Maybe have some type of software that gets her connected to what you guys are doing over the next few months, because it can get crazy. Right now, my sister-in-law is getting married, and we're about 90 days, 100 days out. And even with a wife that's awesome at planning and a brother-in-law who's done it, it's still anxieties. So helping her along, and then setting up and letting her know, listen, let's do a trial run of your hair a month out, way away from the wedding. Always thinking of her. I like to connect her trial run with maybe a bridal party or an event or engagement photo, so she doesn't waste that hair. All of these things are letting her know, I'm here for you. I'm here for no one else. I'm here for you. And then letting her know, listen, we're going to pay ahead of time. I'm going to come way ahead of time. We're going to map this out. And you're not going to have to worry about this, because oftentimes we're the last one to touch her. So what you can do is just get really personal. Don't view it as just getting their hair done in the salon. This is an experience. You're right underneath the bridal coordinator, hair and makeup. Yeah. You're sometimes the first person to see her and the last one to touch her before she gets walked down the aisle. So I would encourage people to go to weddings, get involved in weddings, maybe give away your services, so you can shift the mind from $30, $40, $50 in the salon and realize that we're talking about hundreds of dollars for the services, something that you can do full time. So shifting that mind away from the daily happenings in the salon to a professional bridal stylist, which, guys, is a lucrative career.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I've made my last 13 years out of it just doing brides. Basically, I didn't qualify as a hairdresser until 2014, and that's really because I did hair and makeup for bridal since I went to beauty school in the UK back in 2004, 2005, and then I moved to Australia, and I've done basically weddings pretty much from that point on. I started out in a bit of beauty, but I honed in on makeup straight away, and then I learned to do hair. And I realized that bridal was definitely the place for me, because I knew I could make my part-time wage even just by doing 1 day a week on the weekend. So yeah, absolutely. You're right, totally. And someone just asked then, she said, should we do consults straight away? And I'm saying absolutely. Yeah, as soon as you get connected with that bride, bringing them in for a consultation, get them on board. That's exactly what Ray was just saying. You know, the earlier out you can speak to them, the better, right?
Absolutely, especially if you have a location, if you work full-time in the salon, shut down a Saturday, shut down a Sunday, maybe get a glass of wine or some coffee, ask her preference, right? And bring her in and just make it no worries, no stress. Just let her kind of communicate, pen and pad on where she's going. And then if she's open to it, throw out some suggestions on what, and then you'll see her light up, because if you catch her early enough, you're giving her some of her first ideas on where to go, what color palettes. Here, create a sheet that has these 10 websites you need to get connected to. These are 10 things you should be doing, whether you choose me or not. But honestly, if you choose to do that free consultation early, she's sold. She's locked in, because you take a big weight off of her shoulders, because a wedding is a big deal, and there's no prerequisite. Most people are getting married one time, so they're very, very nervous. And you can take that edge away by showing your experience as early as possible.
Yeah. So another one was, should they pay for the trial? And absolutely yes. Please do not give away your trials for free. They shouldn't have to pay for the consult. I don't believe that we should be charging for consultations. But someone said, should we pay for the? Should they pay for the trials? But yeah, absolutely. If you're going to spend a couple of hours with them doing hair and makeup, they got to pay for that.
Absolutely. I think the consultation, if you can do it in person, I would suggest that the consult, just conversation on the couch in the salon over coffee. But I got to a point, Dawn, over after some years of doing it, the trial was not an option. It was something that was already garnered in. And that gives them an understanding of how serious it is. Listen, I don't do brides unless, because you're not going to cry on my watch. You know what I mean? I had no problems. So we're going to do it with some music playing, laughing and joking. And we're going to have your hair done maybe a month out when nothing's going on. So you can say, no, that's too tight. That's too smooth. That's too stiff. Walk out of there. So the day of, all we're doing is, it's already been rehearsed. So the trial isn't an option. Honestly, I got to the back end of my career, and if brides didn't want to commit to a trial, I told them no.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
No trial, no wedding. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's because the other thing is as well, like, this is our reputation. You know, if we did something wrong, and I was talking with I was doing an interview with a live last week, and I said, you know, it used to be that one person, like 3 word of mouth, one person would tell 3 people how fantastic you are. One person would tell 10 people if you weren't that great. Now one person puts one post on social media and we are screwed because they have just bad-mouthed us everywhere. So, you know, trials are no wedding, no trial, no wedding, because this is our reputation. We've got to get it right. And like you said, we don't want brides upset on wedding day. That's the last thing we want to do.
Last thing we want to do, you need to know how long the hair lasts. Does she sweat in her hair? Does she have any allergies? You need to know, because there's no time is always scarce. So you need to be able to get in there and get it done and make sure that I'm using the exact same pens, the exact same products, and no, I'll commit to a trial, then I wouldn't do it. And again, that's going to take a level of confidence to be able to say that, listen, you have to pay for your hair for the wedding and the trial at least. And honestly, what I like to do is get the full payment at the trial if they're committed at that point. Because we every other service does that. The flowers, the DJ, nobody pays the day of, guys. And sometimes as hairstylists, we're so used to that. In a salon, or makeup artists, we're so used to that. We kind of don't know. And I learned how the other vendors in a wedding operate at my wedding, because I had to pay all the money. So I learned quick. And and I realized people wanted their money a month out, 2 months out. It wasn't all this, you know, photographer. We asked them, well, can you guys give us a discount because we're doing our wedding on Memorial Day? It's on a Monday. And they said, our service is not going to be any different. It's the same cost. It's $3,000. I was like, okay, you know, so I learned how this goes. So $50 hair for wedding out, that is not the game. I don't care where you live at in the world. It's just not it.
I completely agree. I think that for the service that we provide, the fact that we go to them, you know, that we're in their home, you know, we should, you know, you need to make sure that everything is done, prepared, and ready to go.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's it. That's the other thing, like you were saying before about, you know, giving them maybe a sheet that says, you know, these are my, you know, recommendations. And I think, you know, email marketing plays a huge role, and it's something that perhaps a lot of bridal stylists don't really realize. But I know certainly when I started putting in some emails to my clients, that just sort of went automatically. It just kept them engaged with me, kept them communicating with me. And, you know, there's certain things in our experience with brides that I think sometimes we miss.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're used to getting the hair done, paying for one service, and then the next client.
That's right.
But the opportunities in a wedding, I mean, I've even seen people sell the client hair, nail, and skin vitamins 90 days out. I've seen them already pre-book for, you know, sending them off for the honeymoon a couple days later. This is this is a new relationship. She's never going to forget you. She's never going to forget who made her gorgeous for her wedding.
That's
and
right.
she's never going to get to keep referring that. So you wind up getting booked, guys, for events for the children. You wind up getting, I started to add in my own behind the scenes photographer to up the package the day of, separate from her main photographer that could see her from the very beginning of the day. I later did makeup and became a double threat like yourself, called it the solitaire package. Always good because you deal with one person, get $1,000 or more and get on out of there. And always remember, guys, here's another thing. It's generally not her money. Somebody else is paying. So the money, pricing, and scared to charge, generally, it's 4 or 5 different people chipping in on this wedding, and they've already allotted the money. So we're not trying to overcharge, but be appropriate on your service, your expertise, and the time that we spend, guys. And have day rates already figured out, because anything over 4 hours, to me, they should be paying for your entire day and have a problem doing it.
Yeah, I like that idea. I know that when I talk to some of the new stylists, I sort of say, you know, well, set your fees, set your prices to do, you know, your faces or your hair for the morning of the wedding. But sometimes you do need to be prepared that if they want you to come back as well, because I know a lot of different cultures, they want you to come back and redo their hair or for the night and things like that. So they have a whole outfit and hair and makeup change. So you need to think about that as you start growing your business, that might be something that you get asked to do.
Yeah, it happens. One thing that happened in my wedding, and I'm just using mine because I just learned a lot from that. It stormed. We got married outside, and the entire wedding party got rained on as they were walking down the aisle.
Oh no!
Crazy. Only the bride didn't get wet. But luckily, I had a party, and in my instance, it was some friends of mine, and they said no problem. But in that instance, if I asked a stylist to come back and redo everybody, you have to be prepared to pay them again. They're not going to automatically just give that away. So there's a lot of different try to put in the contract to where there's not any surprises. If the wedding party wants to get it done, let's book it, because we're always pushed for time. Nobody knows. That's another thing, too, as a bridal stylist, makeup artist. You've got to tell them the time frame, because everybody thinks it takes 20 minutes to do everything. And
so many unrealistic expectations. I know from doing my sister-in-law's wedding, and I said to her she was going to have to be in the chair by like 8:30, and she was like, but my wedding's not till 2. And I'm like, I know, but I've got to set your hair and I've got another 6 bridesmaids to do. So, you know, you have to get up a little bit earlier, but people don't realize how long it takes and how fast the day goes. The day goes so quickly. Tina's asking here, we charge $500 to stay through the photos up to the reception. Is that enough or too much? It's a pretty good fee, I think, Tina, there, $500.
I think so. And in many instances, it can be less because people they're not mindful of time. You definitely want to be mindful of your time. Don't say just the reception, because in some cultures, the reception is an hour later, 3 hour time. Like if I'm there 4 hours, it's this, 6 hours is that, after that full day rate. So I can just hang out and eat bonbons as long as I'm on the clock. Because you can't do anything else. You can't go anywhere else. You can't work in the salon. You can't do another gig. And that's another thing that I understood. All the other vendors, they charge because you're getting their full attention. So it's hard for us, Dawn, to charge for something that's not the service. It's hard for us to know how to charge for our time, our expertise, being on call. We don't gauge that because we're not asked to necessarily do that in the salon. We're asked, how much is the time? Here, $100. We have to charge for food, travel, per diem. You know, do I bring an assistant? I've got to bring equipment. Are you feeding? You know, it's a lot of different variations, and you'll quickly realize that if you undercharge, you're going to feel exhausted because the money's not going to match. So just consider all those things, and we'll be fine. But we've got to, and here's another thing that I think, and I'll stop right here and I'll let another question come. But even in the salon, you got to kind of look in the mirror and ask yourself, do you think that hair styling and makeup is expensive? The average creative hairstylist and makeup artist, they've been doing it for free, natural their whole life. They think it's easy, so they think it shouldn't cost any money.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a huge problem that people are kind of like, the average hairdresser has never paid $100 for their hair.
That's probably true.
So charging someone $100 and $150 freaks them out because they think that's too expensive. And that's where a lot of times guys, sometimes we have an advantage because it's always been a service to me. I never connected to me. It's always expensive, right? So that's a challenge. Psychology is a part of this as well.
Yeah, definitely. Mindset, making that mindset shift. But I think as well, mindset for us, knowing that we're worth the money that we're charging, and mindset to sort of change the mindset of the brides who don't feel like hair and makeup is, even though it is a priority to them, because like you're saying, how they look at the end, you know, in their pictures from years to come, actually is the biggest sort of aspiration and dream of a bride, to look amazing and to look back on those photos and say, I looked amazing. But the problem is getting them to realize then that they have to pay they have to, you know, it's an experience, and it's, you know, something that they're going to have to pay for to look that good. And it's changing their mindset as well a little bit and overcoming their frustrations and pains. Yeah.
And I think, and here's a segue, and that's where social media, in my opinion, comes in. Yeah. Because now, unlike maybe years, I guess I'm an old guy now, 41, right? But there was a time when we had to kind of convert our clients that were already coming to our salon, referrals from church, our sister, our friend. We were doing hair away from the salon, but it was really connected. It was very close to us. So we were trying to convert people into valuing services that may or may not have been their thing. But now, social media allows us to be more of a magnet, to really draw in and find the people that this is their thing. For every woman that would say, man, $100, that's expensive. I mean, hair don't mean that much to me. For every woman that says that, there is another woman that's like, I'll give you double. I want you right now. Come to me, take my money. And my wife is a great example. My wife, before she was my wife, she was a client. And to this day, if I bought her $300 of Fenty and MAC makeup, she'd be happy, but makeup's really not her thing. Hair is a big, big deal. Yeah. Nails, hair, there's certain things. Skincare is a big, big deal. So social media allows you to get a better, you know, no pun intended, a better marriage with brides who find hair and makeup important by soliciting content that draws them in. And now what you do is what they want. They don't have to have a previous relationship. I think hair is important right underneath the venue. I think hair is most important right after the dress. Hair is like 12th to some brides. Yeah. But for many, many women, it's top 3. And you just won't have that problem. And I learned that early years ago. I had one bride that paid me and told me to just, you know, what's your day rate? It was the first time I made $1,000 from a wedding. She gave that to me a year before the wedding. She wanted 2 makeup changes and 2 hair changes. I don't want you to think about nothing else. She paid me 365 days before the wedding. I freaked out. And she was like, what's the problem? I said, this has never happened before. I was young, 20-something years old. She said, hair is most important to me. I want that to be done. And I realized then, find the girls that hair and makeup is most important, and you can get busy.
Find your tribe, right? Find your tribe of people who are going to want you, you know, love you, trust you, and then shout from the rooftops how amazing you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's segue into social media and, you know, what people can do, what, you know, any stylist, makeup artist can do in order to, you know, really do allay those fears using social media. What kind of posts do you think that we should be posting?
Okay, so can we just use maybe Instagram for instance, and you can kind of pull ideas from other things. And of course, it's my jam, guys. It's the one that I love. I'm actually jealous that this wasn't around 10 years ago when I was really out there grinding, because I would have game as a stylist, and I really I get almost antsy when I'm doing coaching calls, because I'm like, guys, you got to use this how they're intending for you to use it. So two things: social media, Dawn, especially for business. I think it's important to break the two words apart. It's media. Media isn't new. Television was media. Flyers was media. Dawn Bridal Army has a business card. That's media.
Yeah.
But this is digital, computer, online media. And it's intended in these places, guys: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, for you to socialize and you do such a good job with that, Dawn. I just want to commend you again. Sharing your lives, showing the kids, showing yourself behind the scenes, showing yourself getting ready. So get social with the media is the first thing. It's not your portfolio. It's not perfection.
No.
It's not just gorgeous pictures. It's really having people to meet you before they meet you. Yeah. So Instagram in particular, I think that it's a highlight reel. I think that it's a greatest hits application, because some people will say stole, others will say borrow, but they've really fused in almost every other platform's features in this one application. Yeah. For instance, this is very much pulling from YouTube and Periscope, yet we're inside of Instagram. Yeah. So imagine if you now were on here and talking to a previous bride, giving her testimonial. Let's say if you were a previous bride and I was interviewing you about the rating over all of the different things, brides that are watching, and then you could immediately say, guys, if you're interested, leave a comment below, go to my name above, let's get started. I can send you my website. So the live version is an amazing way to interview brides, interview vendors, take people on location, show them how things are going, talk to brides in their reception, talk to brides, interview a bride on her honeymoon. I mean, you can get really, really wild on what you can do with live. So live is that. It's designed for interaction like you're doing now. Yeah. Stories.
You've got a bit, Ray, can anyone see Ray? Ray's gone frozen on my screen. Can everyone else see Ray? Just give me a thumbs up if you guys can still see Ray. It's kind of doing a bit of a circle on me right now. Just let me know in the comments, guys, if you can still see Ray, because it seems to be a little bit frozen and it does keep cutting out on my end. He's frozen. Patrice says you're frozen. Yeah, hair by okay, guys. Ray, how can we do this? Can I click you out and then add you back in again? I think we've lost Ray. Are you still there, Ray? Yeah, you can't hear.
Still here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You keep cutting out, Ray. Can I cross you out and add you back in again?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll cross out and I'll add you back in. Hold on, guys. Just give me a sec. So remove. Okay. All right, guys. Let me give it just a second. And you can hear him fine. Yeah, I could hear him at the beginning, and then it started to just cut out. So let me add him back in again. Let's go live with Ray. Let's add him back in. Hopefully this will do the job. Okay, hopefully he's back. Yeah, you're back. You're back. You're good. Okay.
All right. All right.
That's good. All right. So I wanted to hone in again actually on what you're saying about live video, because I'm a massive advocate for live video, and otherwise I wouldn't have jumped on Periscope. But I don't even know why I did it. I can't even remember what it was that made me decide to go on Periscope in the first place. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to hit this camera and I'm going to do it. But overcoming our own anxieties and fears, it is big. It's hard to do it. I understand when a lot of stylists are telling me, I don't want to be on camera, but they don't have to be on camera face to face, right? There are other ways that we can use video.
Absolutely. Live video, to be able to exchange and to answer question on call and to give personality. It's some people have real hang-ups with that, and I fully understand. And that's where the other variations of video come in. I think one of the most underused and underutilized parts of Instagram is Instagram stories.
Yeah.
I like to tell people that it's still video, it's still very personal, except it's not with direct response from the viewer. In two ways: they don't talk back, they can't comment while you're actually creating the video, and if they leave a comment, it goes to DM and not a timeline. And that's something that people are really very nervous about, is trolls.
Yeah, which we used to get so many of on Periscope.
So many on Periscope.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I understand the fear from people like, I don't want to go on Periscope, because they would see other people when they watched Periscope that the trolls were quite prominent there. I don't find it here on Instagram though.
Wow. Now, I'm not seeing names and stuff at the bottom. We're not just private, me and you. It's still people on, you can see?
Yeah, there's still people here. There's still people giving us thumbs up. Everyone's saying that they can see you again.
Okay.
Yeah, Mel's here.
Sure.
We're good.
So, yeah. So, Instagram stories, guys, is like your behind-the-scenes camera. Yeah. Don't overthink it. You get 15 seconds for video, and you get 5 seconds or 4 seconds for a photo. I like the way Snapchat, it was better. I heard somebody describe Snapchat. It's little snap shots of your day to chat with your audience. Now, if you're in business, I like to break that down for people to ask. Now, would you not want to show your audience snapshots of your day and chat with potential people that want to give you money? Well, yeah, I would want to do that. So keep it there. You're just sharing with them when you go to the supply store, or when you put on your all black for a wedding, or, you know, you took your shoes off because it was a long day, or you caught the bride crying, or the groom was laughing because he didn't know he had to put on powder. Those little innuendos and nuances, people watching that are in the industry and potential clients, they love it. It's what people spend most of their day doing, either through reality TV, YouTube, and online. And now we have that access with no editing. So it's a way to kind of get you up to live video. And it's very, very easy to do. You can interview people. I know people that do stories all day and never turn the camera to them, but they let the people into their world. And by not utilizing live or the minute that you get on Instagram timeline or stories, you're probably taking down your conversions on Instagram probably 70–75%. There's a reason why they gave it to us.
Yeah, I have noticed just lately I've ramped up my Instagram stories a little bit more, and I noticed that I get more interaction on my page, on my feed, when I ramp up my Instagram stories. It's funny because, and then there's sometimes where I'm a bit quieter on Instagram stories, but I do notice then I get a slump in my feed. So, you know, Instagram stories is such a great way of doing that. Someone else just mentioned just in the comments, Ray, that one of their fears was that they would go live and that no one would be watching. Guys, can I just tell you that I have done so many lives where there has been no one watching, but you know what? The replay viewers are just as important as those that come on live.
Just as important, guys. This is new. We're still talking about something video less than 10 years of our life. Like, this is a new idea. And we live in a world, guys, of acceptance. We live in a world of validation. We wanted people to like us in high school. We want to make our parents proud. We don't want to shame our family and all of those things. So we got a lot of hang-ups that are out there. I read something recently, Dawn, and I'll share this. It was going to be a topic, but you know I love me some Dawn Bridal Army, so I'm going to give it to you. I read about the imposter syndrome. They said that a great bit of the world right now, in particular as it goes to social media, are suffering from the imposter syndrome. They feel like that if they share and speak and do and be, that they'll somehow get found out, that they're not good or they're not enough and that everyone else is perfect and they're the only one in the world that don't have their act together. So they fear sharing who they are and living out loud because I don't want everybody to figure out I'm the only one that doesn't have it together. And the part about the imposter syndrome is so wild because nobody has it together. Everybody's trying to figure it out. And people are living vicariously. Now, are there going to be negative Nancys that are going to say things? Sometimes. But you stand a lower chance on Instagram because it's not an open forum. It's still people that are following you.
Yeah.
And so let's say you go on and nobody's there. That could be connected to Instagram not showing as many people. They don't show the entire gambit of your people. It could be that your numbers are maybe low. It could just simply be that they're busy. But what we have, which a lot of people don't think about, like you just said, is for 24 hours, they're going to alert people to watch this. You can go back in stories and tell people to watch it. You can go on your timeline and tell people to watch it. You can send out an email to all of your online booking and tell them to watch it. I mean, this is, you can share it to all of your people, right?
Yeah.
Right now, guys, there's a little arrow at the bottom. Share this out to as many people as you want. And Instagram is giving us the tools. So I just say go through it, sit there, be nervous. And when you're done, guess what's going to happen? You ain't going to die.
No.
Nobody's going to kill you. You're going to go through it. And then somebody's going to say, I enjoyed it. Do it again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's all you need is that push to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say that's one thing that I used to love, like being on Periscope for so long. Like it was the interaction that we got, you know, that really kept me going. It was people saying, this is such great information, Dawn, thanks for sharing. And it gives you that little bit of a boost. And that's what makes you want to do it again and again. And it takes time, and it takes the fact that you have to build up your confidence, but it does really, really work when you start to hear that feedback from your audience. And like you were saying, what the best thing about Instagram was the fact that we are going to our audience, the audience that have chosen to specifically follow us.
That's so important, Dawn. And here's the thing that I kind of try to coach people as well. Think of Instagram Live as a date, meaning on stories, you've been texting all week long, right? You've been kind of flirting all day long. On the timeline, you've been celebrating people and talking and sharing and sending out pictures, just like any other relationship. So when it's time once a week to have a date, people are anticipating. They're looking forward to it. So many people are saying they're going live and no one's there. And here's a little kick in the butt, guys. It's because we're not engaging all week long. It's because we're not texting, and I'm saying texting as a metaphor, but we're not communicating with the person that we're trying to date or court or engage with, which is our audience. But if you're sharing tidbits like you do all week long, if you're sharing like I'm doing all week long, then people are asking like, what time? Because I can't wait for us to have our date, you know,
absolutely.
and meet up online. So engagement during the week, guys, is going to amp up your activity and your attendance in your lives.
Yeah. Guys, I know Ray's everyone's saying you're frozen again, Ray.
Oh.
It's a typical connection again. Hang on, I'll pop out again and I'll add you back in again. We'll redo it.
Okay.
All right, guys, we will try again. We are at the mercy of internet and technology. All right, we're good. This is a good interview, right, guys? He's so good. He is so awesome. It's so good to talk to Ray. I've been talking with Ray for a really long time. So, you know why now, because I've been following him, because he's just a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, guys, it just should be coming back up again. I'm just waiting for him to connect. I've just put I'll put the thing through. It's saying waiting. Let's see. I'll try again in just a sec. I know some of you guys have been following. Ray is so much fun, loving his expertise and enthusiasm. Oh, no, I love you. Thank you, doll. Yeah, he's awesome, isn't he? Okay, hang on. Let me just try again. It says waiting. Let me go one more time. All right, I've tried it again. Hey, Steph. Oh, have we lost Ray? We're having such a good conversation, guys. I know there was a few more questions that came through. Hey, oh, we're back. That's great. Awesome. I said we're at the mercy of technology and internet connection.
Yeah, we'll take it. It's free. We'll take it. We'll keep working it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Ray, we were saying about, jumping on live and like you were saying about sharing when we're worried about people not watching us. Funny you should mention that as well, because just before I came on Instagram, I quickly went on live on Facebook and went, hey guys, I'm going to be live with Ray in 10 minutes over on Instagram. Come and join me. So you got to start cross promoting yourself as well across the platforms.
Yeah, they're all, guys, we're looking at now 40 years and under. People may argue unless you break it down. They're online 7 to 8 hours a day. They're not closing these applications, guys. They're getting notifications all day long. I know some people say they don't like it. They don't understand it. This is law. This is how it's going to be. So touching them at different points, text messaging, online booking, Facebook, Snap, it's just necessary if we're out here. And once you get an understanding, I mean, just think about what's happening right now. Right now, you're seeing me and Dawn Rose communicate like we have even met. We have never met in person. It's 9 o'clock where she is. It is 7 o'clock where I'm at. She's been sleeping all night. I made you know what I mean? We made flyers. I promoted. She promoted. But we met and connected in many instances through wording. I didn't hear her voice. About 2 years ago. And now, today or tomorrow, if we ever met in person, we would give each other a big hug. And that's because of social media. So we got to kind of loosen up and realize this is serious. So going here to Facebook and saying, hey, guys, go live. I can go in, screen save this video, chop it down, repurpose it. You can save this and use it. This is an amazing place that we're at right now. And I think right now that we've been so restricted for so many years in business that we don't know how to really function with such freedom. We're almost trying to put ourselves back in a bottle with a lid on it, but the lid is off. And you can get really, really busy, and it's freaking people out, and we'd rather run and hide. But now, for people that want it, there's no limits. You can talk from Columbus, Georgia, to Melbourne, Australia, bad internet or not. That's just freaking amazing, guys. And we've got to take advantage of that and explode your business because your family's counting on you, and now you got the tools for free to do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing you can do as well is that you can team up with someone like I'm doing here with Ray and, getting all of his expertise. I know there was a couple of girls that were on yesterday. They were talking about their makeup kit and what they have, and they were just sharing it on live. And I was like, girls, keep doing what you're doing. You're fantastic. It was so good. They were like, hey, Dawn. I was so excited to see them. I was like, guys, this is awesome. All they were doing literally was going through their kit, talking about what they like to use on their brides and what they like to use on their clients. And they were makeup. And I just was like, yes, now this is what I'm talking about. Get on live, do it with a friend, and go through your kit. That wasn't a difficult thing to do. And there were so many people getting so much value out of it.
You know what has happened, Dawn, in the last 10 years is the word blogger and vlogger has surfaced.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, those terms are just variations of the customer showing other customers what they like and what's important. We could call it blogger, vlogger, but it's the customer telling the other customers what I like. And other customers would spend 1 million views on seeing inside of a kit. The problem is creatives and artists, we may say things like, who wants to see that?
Yeah.
Because we desire and are inspired by other things. which is why I ask artists, makeup artists, hairstylists, whatever kind of artists, to really think and move like the client. And that's very difficult at times because we don't realize that little nuances. I mean, people have probably asked you, what blonde are you using on your hair? What's that pink lipstick that you're using? I love what you're doing with your children. What's that blouse? I love the staircase. Clients are looking at everything else, but a hairdresser will just be like, I just want to see hair.
Yeah.
And what makes us different is we share with the client in mind, and they are concerned about so many. See, when my wife comes on the timeline, people love it. And it's like,
yeah, they do.
I'm supposed to be a hairdresser, but people are more interested in who we are. So here's what I say, guys. You don't have to show your personal life and get personal, but you've got to show the life of your personality. Does that make sense? You've got to show yourself. You've got to express yourself. If you got a weird laugh, that could be the very thing that gets you booked for a bride. If you got quirky style and funky glasses, that could be the very thing. And we've been told to hold back who we were and conform and do it like this, that it's really weird for many people to experience. You mean I could just be myself? Yep.
Yeah.
You can be you.
Because when
work.
you be yourself, that's what connects you with people. That's the thing.
Yes.
We want to connect with the best people who we can provide the best service to, who are going to absolutely love us. And like I said, shout from the rooftops how amazing we are. It's got to be that connection that we make with them through our personality. And if you're not genuine and you're not true to yourself, you're going to pick up these terrible clients and terrible brides that are never going to want to pay you. They're going to want the cheap prices and the cheap services. And it's just never going to be aligned with what you really want from life.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't have said it better. I don't have anything to add on that. That was awesome. That's a soundbite, guys. We're just in a new space. And I'll be honest, I think the cosmetology schools and people that are teaching this profession, they haven't really caught up to this is a brand new world where it's not based on some cookie cutter image that's out there. I mean, this is a brand. Guys, I'm an educator, a speaker, a brand consultant, and I went to school for none of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
For all of those things. So you can really get out here and get really, really busy. It's hard to bet on ourselves, to believe that people will like what we are. I would encourage people to go back to their insights and watch the photos that got the most engagement. It was photos of you. Yeah.
It's definitely the personal one.
Things. It wasn't your talent. It was normal stuff that people just love because they got to buy into you, right? And that's where the word influencer and all that comes from. So, guys, look at your business. Look at what makes it interesting. You're part of the world. Your type of brides. Maybe you do all international brides. Maybe you do all natural hair brides. Maybe you do all interracial weddings. Maybe you do all gay weddings. Maybe you do whatever you do unique. Now you can share it. Watch this with 1 billion people.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we are coming to the end now. I've got 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining. Instagram is telling me. So, Ray, where can everyone find more about you?
Listen, guys, I'm here on Instagram at TORREGANO GROUP. My website is torreganogroup.com. Guys, if you're in the beauty industry and you're interested in online education, click on the link in my bio and join the tribe. This is my Australian sister out here. The tribe member's been rocking for about 2 years. We love you, Dawn. I appreciate the opportunity. Guys, just follow me here and continue to follow Dawn and what she's given. She's so passionate about this subject, and your business is going to explode. Invest in bridal boot camps in the bridal school, guys. Yeah, I've got my bridal boot camp coming up next week, and then I'm opening the doors to my bridal school. So, Ray, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Guys, thank you so much. Please do not hesitate to comment and question underneath mine or Ray's feed, because we do have the post of us on our feed. So please, if you've got other questions, leave them on there, Ray, and I will get back to you. Ray, take care over there. Have a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys again really soon. Take care, guys. Thanks, Ray. Bye. Bye-bye.